Hello, welcome back to part 2 of this episode. Right, well, you have felt the pull, and you are heading in that direction. You were just acting on the impulsive nature of your race, and off you go. It is not long before it actually starts to get. I can't remember what time of day it was, actually, thinking about it. So it actually starts to get dark. Are you going to camp up, or are you just soldiering on the way that you are?
Probably would need to make camp at some point, right? We'll need to rest. How strong is this pull that we're feeling? I guess that's a question.
At the moment, there is no urgency to this at all. You just know that is the direction, and I probably should go that way. It's not like you're under some sort of gaze or something like that. There is absolutely no compulsion for you to go that way as of yet. There is just a pull in that direction.
Fellow pigwiggles, the night begins to darken. Perhaps it is time to find a goblin-sized hole in the mud and lay in it.
Indeed, our destination shall be there in the morn. And with that said, just get my hands and start just digging my little hole in the ground.
Okay. You
just start burrowing like a dog.
Are you going anywhere to, make it harder for people to find you, or you just literally, right, we have come this far, let's just stop. So you just stop, and then that's it.
Are we out in the open, or are we walking through like woodlands, or?
You have been walking through woodland. You have passed where your cave would be. You have been around this area before. You are approaching the very outer edges of where you would consider your lands to be, or at least your hunting grounds, I suppose. Another maybe hour traveling, and then you will have crossed that threshold. So you are in familiar territory. So you prepare yourselves for your evening of rest. Here's a question. Are you preparing a watch?
If so, I would take the first watch.
I am going to use my new bone trap spell, which is just alarm. And I'm going to have a little circle around the perimeter and just set up some wires and some bones that I'll just have, because I'm Fugugg.
All right. You say Fugugg. You're not exactly sure where he got all of these bones from. They certainly don't jingle when he walks around or anything like that. And as he is setting them up and casting the spell, etc., you do notice that all of them appear to be the bones of toes, varying sizes and such. It's kind of creepy, really. Some of them look really kind of old.
They're essentially just lollipop sticks for me at this point. Like, suck them dry.
One of them has been sucked so much that it's actually pointy. That's obviously one of his favorites, But anyway, is anybody else making any sort of preparations for tonight's rest?
You go first. Oh, we're at an impasse. I will use my newfound
things.
newfound wild shape to turn into a fungal mass in the shape of a giant badger. I'm gonna start burrowing a little tiny burrow. A shelter. I got 10-foot burrow speed.
Nice.
Nice. You burrow your way into a wonderfully I can't Nilwug. Oh, God damn it, them bastard names, honestly. Into a wonderful Nilwug shaped burrow, and it is very comfy. You put like a proper back arch in. There's a headrest going there. You even right next to it, you burrow a slight indentation. So when you inevitably during the night you roll over, there is a place for your arm to go and your hip, and there's a raised bit up next to your knee, so you can drape your leg across, etc. It's awesome.
Very comfortable. And then I'll cast Truffle Treats and just restock my underpant truffles.
Okay. For those of you that can't remember, that would be Goodberries. Just in case. I've said this a few times in previous episodes. They're really not like that, really. Well, I don't know, Josh might be like that. I haven't met him in person. But, you know, I don't think that he is. Right. So, all preparations done. Back to the original question. Are you having a watch? Or are you relying on the bone traps?
I'll take a first watch to make sure that my bone traps are working fine as well, so I can keep an eye on them. I'm going to just climb up into a tree, find a nice branch to sit on and lean back, and I'll be keeping an eye out from there.
Okay, so that's Fugugg and Tago taking first watch. Is anybody taking second watch?
I will.
Okay, doing it alone. Third.
Sure, I'll come out of my burrow for a while.
Okay. And fourth, if you are wanting a fourth watch.
Do it in 3.
Three. Three is fine with me. Okay, so first watch. Tago and Fugugg. Sorry, go on.
Before it's time for a first watch, though, while everyone else is still doing their setup and digging their own goblin-sized holes, I will wait until Tago is preoccupied digging their hole, and I will scoot on over to our glorious leader, Blasbo. Ah, glorious Booyah, Blasbo. It is an honor to be in your presence, though I must ask for a brief moment of your time. Seems I have information.
Ah, faithful Bugwug, please, do not rest on ceremony with me. What information have you?
You are too kind, O glorious leader. I must inform you of some perhaps dastardly backstabbing deeds that may be planned. You see, while we were unconscious before, Tago demanded to be the one who woke you from your slumber, whereas I, naturally, demanded that you be left to your sleep. You are our leader. Who would dare wake you before your time? And then, upon your awakening, dared touch the Booyog's staff and tried to wrest it from you. I think perhaps we may have a coup on our hands.
Sage counsel, Bugwug.
Do not worry, my liege. I will defend you with my very life.
Faithful Bugwug, thank you for coming to me with this. I shall formulate a plan, and rest assured, when it is ready, you shall be my faithful right hand.
It is an honor, glorious Fugugg. For now, while you devise your devious and genius machinations, I will keep a fair eye on your supposed apprentice for any more foul play. And I will just
Much
walk
obliged.
backwards and sink into my goblin hole. And
Can I make an insight check? It won't have changed what I said, but
Yes, absolutely. Opposed by. It's got to be deception.
are we doing it in the tower or are we doing it out in the open?
I will let you decide that. I tell you what. No, go on. I'll let you decide what you want to do.
What do you reckon, Steve?
I don't care if your insight is public, but I do not want to know how well I've done.
Then
So I'm rolling in the tower.
we'll both go tower then.
Then do it in the tower. For those of you that don't know what the tower is, they can't see the rolls. Only I can. Okay. It occurs to you, Blasbo, that Bugwug may just be a good choice for a right hand.
Yes. He obeyed the orders I gave in the town quite well.
Yes, he did, and he
excelled in his task.
And didn't question them. He just went straight in. Your initial impression of Bugwug since Smegweg's demise may have been off.
Who'd have thought this would be my political intrigue character?
Okay, so the watch will start then, if anybody else has anything. I will take that as a no. Okay. So, Tago and Fugugg, you two are awake together. Admittedly, Fugugg has scampered up a tree. Is there a conversation to be had there, or are we just going to continue on?
I wouldn't be saying anything unless Tago is.
I smile and walk over and ask if he's ever made any blow darts before for my gun.
I would immediately start looking for anything to try and start making some blow darts with without saying anything. Even if I could just get some little twigs or quickly kill a bird that's in the tree with me and use its feathers.
Yeah, you can fashion blow darts. I mean, if you want to do it right now, then you would have to actually climb out and have a look around.
I'll do that.
Okay. Make a survival roll to see if you can locate adequate materials. Yes, that is absolutely no problem. The pointy bits might be a little... You can fashion them out of wood, so it would be like a really bad splinter that you could blow into people for the moment until you can get something a bit more sturdy and, well, metal-wise or things like that. But yes, you can fashion some temporary things for the moment.
How many can I fashion?
Roll a d6, and that's how many. Because the first time you've made these, you'll go through various iterations, and you catch on to that quite easily. All 6 that you have tried seem to do the job great.
I'll hold the sticks in one hand and sort of just crawl over to Tago and just like put them down on the floor and then scamper back up to my tree.
I say thank you and call him my friend.
I'll scamper up the tree still. I'll get up there and my watch will be slightly distracted now. I'll be watching what Tago's doing for most of it while sucking on a toe.
I offer him a tooth crispy, what I've made, while having one myself.
I'll take it.
Gummy
Wow.
and delicious.
A potential budding friendship there? Will there be any political intrigue? Find out next time! Yeah, whatever. Right, so... both of you make a perception check, please. This is to determine if you can see anything interesting during your watch. Tago, you're preoccupied at the moment. You are looking at these little blowgun darts and thinking that in such a short time they fit really quite nicely. You're also preoccupied now that you have your blowgun out. You're mulling it over in your mind how to stop your tongue getting jammed in the end every time you fire it. You haven't come up with a solution yet, but you're working on it. Fugugg, you are much more used to being outside than everyone else, and you don't see anything that would denote any danger. You do hear various bits of game, small game, in the not the immediate vicinity, but relatively close by. If you would want to go hunting,
I'll keep that in mind, and I'll probably try and wake up a little bit early to try and do some hunting before everyone else wakes up as well.
Okay, so that watch goes on uneventful. Second watch, Nilwug, I believe it was. Yeah.
It's okay.
Right. 14, pretty good. You also hear the sound of the game. You are even more used to being outside than any of the rest combined. And you're as you're in your burrow. As you are woken up to do your watch in your burrow, a thought occurs to you as to just how amazing you are. You have just turned into an animal just because you wanted to. And you have fashioned this amazing bed because you wanted to, and it is comfortable. And you don't really want to leave it, but you know you have to. And as you get outside in the fresh, crisp night air, you feel a slight vibration in the ground. It is... it's not violent or anything like that. It's kind of like a rhythmic sort of hum. You can't tell how far away it is, but it's not big. As you are thinking about this, a familiar voice in your head. Well, hello. I'm sorry I haven't spoken to you for a while. I've been kind of preoccupied myself.
Okay. You're here now.
Yes, I'm. I have to say that I did rather like that white dust. I believe it's brought us closer together.
Good. Maybe we'll find more.
Oh, I do hope so. I get the feeling that I may be able to do things now to help you out. I'm not exactly sure what yet. I think I'll need an arm to do it. But I haven't got any of those yet, unless, of course, you let me borrow one of yours.
Anything for you.
Oh, I'm very pleased to hear that. One more thing. If you would be so kind as to stop that humming from getting any louder, that would be wonderful. It's keeping me awake. And when Cody mentions that, you obviously turn your attention to the humming, and it is the vibration. Sorry, and it is getting more intense.
Can I determine which direction it's coming from?
Make a nature roll.
Nature.
Yes, I shall tell you why it's nature and not. Righty. So, it is nature because the vibration that is traveling through the ground, obviously in loose soil and things like that, the vibrations wouldn't travel so far. So you can rule out a particular, like that particular direction, because that's all kind of loose. This direction that you're looking at now is that is much. It's firm and compact. That direction is also where the road is coming from, and you know that essentially on the other side of the road, it becomes more rocky. The vibration is definitely coming from over there. And as you are thinking about this, you notice again that it is closer. And then closer again. And it is now at the point where you think anyone would be able to notice this now were they awake.
I'll wake up the Booyak, for he is our mighty leader.
Okay. How are you going to wake up the Booyak?
Good luck.
He's a heavy sleeper. Tag will prove that.
Stick my finger in my mouth, get it as wet and soggy as possible, and shove it in his ear.
That did the job.
Nilrog. But it isn't even light yet.
Listen.
I'm listening.
You don't hear anything, but you're lying on your back on the ground in your little rut of a hole. You can feel it.
Sure. But when he said, listen, I was expecting him to continue speaking.
All right.
I am listening.
I'll just be very quiet.
See, I took that as just one of your goblin quirks. That's what you were doing. You can feel something, but you can't hear anything. Definite vibration in the ground. And it is becoming more intense.
Have we encountered earthquakes before in our time?
No.
To arms, pig wiggles!
And just as you say that, bursting out of the ground, you see it looks like this huge, enormous insect. It's got loads of legs. It has long antennae that's like twitching across its head. Its legs don't have feet. They end in sharp hooks that you can see they're just covered in dirt, as it's this is obviously what it uses to burrow and to dig, and it has these big sort of mandibles on its right on its face. Let's roll initiative, shall we? Since I forgot to start music before, let's do it now and see what we get, because it's all randomized. Okay. Right. Now, Tago, you are at the top of the round, but you are asleep. You have rudely been awoken. You will wake up on this turn.
My alarm would have went off if it got within 20 feet.
Yes, you
I think
also.
Burrowed beneath, does it? Don't you have to touch the thing? Or
The specifics of the spell. Let's have a look. Alrighty, so. Oh, good lord, you have all called them something else. It's. Righty, so.
20-foot cube, so I guess it depends if a cube goes underground or not.
I wouldn't have thought it went underground, to be fair. Just if it's within 20 feet of us when it's burst out, I mean.
Oh yeah, it's within 20. It's sort of right next to you. So it does go off. So you will awaken, and it was just as Blasbo sort of shouted up, 2 arms, the way that he has. Oh, let's round them off. Righty, so Tago, you have rudely been awakened. What I will do, because why not? You can, as you are woken up, you can have half of your movement and either an action or a bonus action.
Tago is not good with bugs, so Tago will go up in the tree and use the blow dart gun.
Okay. Right, this thing is very large, by the way, and it's covered with armored sort of plates, like chitin on across its back and down its body. When I say large, it is maybe 15 feet long. At least close to it. Right, so you're going to use your blowgun? Right, I am. Give you an unidentified creature. It is right there on the combat tracker. For all your metagamers that are there, you may recognize the particular token, but we'll see. We'll see. Wow! First roll in... Is it the first roll? Yeah, yes, first roll in this... no, it's not, I'm kidding. But... really bad.
Tago misses.
Yes, you do.
Again.
This time, you use one of Fugugg's darts and you go, and you actually suck it. You actually suck the breath in, ready to blow, but you've already had the pipe. And you cough out the dart. You have half of your movement. It is 20 foot, 15 foot away from you. You can have half of your movement.
I'll go up in a tree.
You want to try and
just
jump up in a tree? Right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Make a... athletics or acrobatics to see if you can get up there. Whichever one is the higher. You're a monk, so odds on it will be acrobatics.
It is.
Right, you don't get very far up the tree, but you do manage to find the lowest branch. If you were not a goblin, it probably would break. It is quite thin and flimsy. It's one of those ones where you climb up and you just grab a hold of it and it sort of bends down, so you're still kind of the same height off the ground as if you would be if you were standing on it. Your head is at the same height, but you're off the ground at least. Alright, that's you. Fugugg.
Okay, same thing. I can take an action or a bonus.
Yep.
Okay. Then I will take an action and I will shoot at it with my bow.
Okay.
To creature.
You do hit. As this thing rears up, you see that it is less armored on the underside of it as it's facing you, and you just loose. Arrow pierces it. Wow, with a 10 points of damage. That's a good hit. You see it is much softer, but you don't aim for the soft parts because you are Fugugg Pigwiggle. You aim for the gaps just because you can. And the arrow disappears up inside of it. And it sort of lets out this kind of clicky squeal. At least you assume that's what it is. You have a little bit of movement. Again, it's about 15 foot away from you.
Yeah, I'll back off a bit, so 15 feet back away from it.
Okay, so you are 35 feet away. Excuse me. That's you. Blasbo, the Fugugg of the Big Wiggle clan. You were already awake, so you can have everything.
Okay. I will. Well, how far away is it from me once it bursts out?
Oh, 15 foot. You're all sort of clustered.
I will back 30 feet away. And
Ooh, something I need
shall...
to check. Something I need to check. Hang on. Something I need to check. No, you're good. Right.
I shall point at it with my baleful fingers and say, "You are cursed!" And I will give it a goblin blast.
Okay.
Would an 18 hit? Didn't drop it in the thing correctly.
That's okay. Yes, it would hit. Nice. 14 points of necrotic damage. As you blast it, its carapace is... it just practically disintegrates as black rot and necrosis just spreads across one of its shells and just comes away, scorching the dying flesh underneath it. Beautiful. Is that everything?
Yes. Move and a bonus and an action, so yes.
Okay. Fugugg! You are rudely awakened, so you get one or the other, and half your movement.
Okay. How far away would it be from me?
I'm just going to go for the 15 foot.
15 feet. Absolutely perfect. Just give me a second while I find my chainmail so I can unequip it. Because I've been sleeping.
Yeah, you have.
That's
Oops. Hold on.
odd. I've unequipped it. Ah, I need to unequip my shield as well. Oh wait, no, I can pick my shield up. That's part of it. That's fine. Okay, so being woken up, I will sort of combat roll forward as part of getting out of my goblin hole with my towards the creature, the 15 foot that I would have, standing, interposing myself directly in a way that it is to get to our glorious leader Blasbo. It would have to either push me aside or move around me.
Okay.
And I will interpose my body that way. And I will say, "Ah! A foul beast! I shall not glorious leader Blasbo!" And I will attack him. Or it. Or her. Or whatever. It's a bug.
It's a big bug.
Big ass bug.
They're called worms.
Hey. Alrighty. It's alive. That's unfortunate.
It is alive.
So then I'll action surge!
Oh, wow.
Do it again!
You do it again, big boy. You hit.
Okay. Well, that's movement and an action, and I don't have a bonus action.
Okay.
So I'm done.
Right, as you run up to this thing, the necrotic damage that it has taken beforehand by the Fugugg has provided a nice spot to swing that weapon and cut off a section of the flesh of this bug. At least that's what you think that it is that you're cutting off. And you strike deep and hard. And then you do it again. And this thing squeals. It almost wrenches the weapon from your hand. But you, Fugugg, will show the other big wiggles just how amazing that you are. So, It's a little disappointing that you didn't kill it, but it is definitely on death's door. Most definitely. Grub. You are next. You also were asleep, so you get the one or the other. And half your movement.
I guess if half my movement's enough to get up to the bug,
It is.
I will charge it and draw a dagger as I do, and I'll just plunge it into hopefully a fleshy bit underneath it as it's like reared up.
Yep.
Go.
Wow. My, how the tables have turned. All this half decent dice rolling all of a sudden.
Go. Hey!
Bug left it with 1 hit point.
Jeez.
For you though, it was amazing. You just run up to it with your puny little dagger compared to Bugwug's big sword, and you practically jump into it, flesh first, and you start sort of crawling on the inside underneath its carapace, start stabbing, and you pop out covered, absolutely covered in some sort of insect blood, I guess, and it. That's the way. And it sort of falls over to the ground, dead and unmoving. Right, now that's you. Nilwug. Give me a... Actually, what is this? This is a thing. Give me a... give me a nature check to see if you can identify this thing. Right, you know what this is. You know about this. You haven't seen it before, but they generally do not come this close. This is an ankeg. An ankeg. And as you look at it and you realize, oh, that must be what the rumbling was all about, all the vibration stuff in the floor, you can still feel that vibration. There was more than just this one.
Okay. I'll activate my Halo of Spores ability.
Mm-hmm.
So a big puff of like spores start floating around me very visibly.
Inside your head, you hear Cody go, "Achoo!" And that's just this cloud of spores that start circling around you. Oh, excuse me.
So double check. So I gain some temporary hit points.
Yes, you do.
As well.
Yes, you do.
8 of them. I'll then raise that an action to do that. Yeah, it's an action to do that. So, do I have any bonus actions? I'll cast Shillelagh on my bone stuff.
No. No, you were away already, weren't you? Yes.
Yeah, I was on.
That's correct. That's correct. My bad.
And then that's my turn.
Okay.
I'll just tell everyone there's more.
Okay. And the moment that you turn around, you say, "There's more." Another pops up in the ground. I will identify these for you. And it just bursts up out of the ground. And it's almost like it turns and looks at its companion and then rears back to use, and it maneuvers into a better position and it sprays acid out of its like tubules right round its mouth. Now, based on where everybody was standing, it can get the people that it can get that are close together are Bugwug, and Grub. So it is a line of acid spray. Actually, let's see. Yeah, just use 2. Right, so I am going to... I will target you both. So, Grub. How very interesting. Right, so, Grub and... Bug. I will initiate your dexterity saving throw. The DC is 13. Right, Grub, you have failed yours. Bug, surprisingly, you have made yours. And as this acid... Ooh, wow, that's a lot of damage, that is. This acid comes bursting out of this thing, and by gosh, this burns. This really does burn. You can feel your skin blister underneath this thing. Grub, your skin is blue, and where it burns, it's bubbling away and starting to melt off. Unfortunately, it still stays blue underneath. You're kind of disappointed with that. And then you remember that it really hurts, and you're like, ah! And then the thought occurs, actually, no, I won't say that. Right, okay. So
No,
that...
But, would I still have that +2 dex when you said my thing activated?
No, that only lasted an hour, and you've
Right,
been
okay.
you've been traveling for
Way
quite a
longer
while.
now.
Yeah. Right, so that is its turn thus far. And back round to Tago.
Is it 15 feet away again?
Pretty much, yeah. But you've got everything back now, so you've got all of your actions and all of your movement, because you're now awake.
I'm gonna run up, walk up to it and use martial arts.
Awesome. Right, you do run up to it, and you whack. This thing's tougher than it looks, and then your hand goes kind of numb with the vibrations.
I'm gonna use my inspiration to re-roll it.
Okay. That one does hit. Okay. As your hand is numb, you realize that the reason it's numb is because you hit it harder than you thought, and you can see a crack just form immediately from where you hit it. You're quite happy with that.
I am gonna spend a key point and use punch, also known as flurry of blows.
Okay.
So I'm trying to work out how to do this. So do I just click it?
It's just the same. So you would just tick to get rid of your to say that you've used it. Used a key point, and then you would just make 2 more attacks. Oh, nice. All right.
I think you rolled the
Right,
blow
what have you done?
damage there.
Yeah, you did.
I'll do that again. Sorry.
Just
No.
the hit would be the same. Just do the damage instead.
Oh yes,
And
it has to be more, didn't it? Yeah.
And just do another one of those. Since look on one.
Yes, because you hit it the second time as well. Yeah, so just do another damage. Righty, for this time. So, do you want to say what you do? You've just run up and punched it the first time. What are you going to embellish in any particular way? Or are you just going to stick with the fists?
Tago's just gonna run up and do as what Tago calls punch, and just tries to punch it and tries to uppercut it if Tago can.
Right, absolutely. So you run up after the first hit where your hand goes numb. You instinctively lash out and strike it again. That one doesn't hurt because your hand's already numb anyway. And as you hit it the second time, it sort of rears back and sort of looks down just in time for you to Hadouken! And up you go, whack, right on the chin. And as you hit it, you break one of the tip of one of the mandibles that's coming out of its mouth. Impressive.
Nice.
All right, so that's everything that you have used. Yes, so we are on to Fugugg.
I am going to. Yeah, I'm just going to shoot my longbow at it. I think I'm not going to do anything else.
Okay.
Hey.
Oh, wow. Oh,
less damage than I did with the normal hit before.
Sometimes the dice just hit you, bro. Especially you.
Yeah.
After Tago punches it up, it sort of rears its head and goes to the side, exposing a beautiful open area in the plates. You see the opportunity, you loose, and it doesn't let you down. The arrow, as it hits, you would expect it to disappear, but because of the shape of the skull, as the arrow goes in, it twists and then snaps. It could have been so much better, but it was still a damn good shot. Alright, Blasbo, it is you.
I transfer the curse using my finger and send out another goblin blast from the Fugugg staff.
Okay. Oh, beautiful. You, as you get the staff, you're still kind of getting used to it, and you sort of twist it and put it under your arm, and you hold it like this, and you hold it up, and you go, and you just shoot it like it's like some sort of rifle. The necrotic energy hitting it once again. It doesn't have the same sort of effect this time round. It doesn't destroy any of the carapace, but you can tell underneath where the plates do separate, you can see that it is all charred and turning black, and it writhes up in agony. But that's just a secondary thing. We don't need to worry about that.
And I'll continue just backing up a little bit. I won't do the full 30. I don't want to appear to be a coward. 15's fine. 15's fine.
15's fine. Okay, that is you a stand at 60 feet away. Bug, you have a new enemy, and it's right next to you.
Huh. Well, first things first, I'm going to brush off any remaining acid that's still on my skin, preventing further burning and giving myself a second wind. Haha.
D10 plus the fight level.
Oh,
look at that.
Very nice.
A 10 when you need it. There it is.
And then I'm just going to fucking stab it.
Okay.
Stab it.
Stabby. You pull back your weapon and you swing it with all of your might. And it... vibrations down the blade and up and in your arms, all the way down to your toes as you clatter against this hardened outer shell that this creature has. Not quite the strike that you were after.
I will then maneuver myself around it to give Gob flanking, sort of doing another combat roll around to get to the side of it, and being like, "Grab! The opportunity is now!" And by flanking, and that's me.
Okay. Gob, you have been given an opportunity. In your weakened state, do you choose to accept it?
I totally don't. Action 2, nibble escape. And I am going to scamper away from this big bug. And do like swan dive into my soup.
Right, okay.
In hopes to wash some of this acid off, I guess, and then emerge with my ladle launcher and give a shot on the anchor.
Okay.
Now I realise I've updated this to the infused version, but we haven't had any kind of rest yet, so I actually wouldn't have it. I wouldn't have had time to tinker it.
Right.
So I'm just going to hit the -1s on these rolls, because it wouldn't have the +1 repeating thing going on.
Right, okay, that's no problem. Well, you do still hit it anyway. So, what ammunition are you firing this time? Or are you sticking with the ladles?
It's a fork this time.
It's a fork, right, okay. Right, you load a barbecue fork. It's longer, it's got 2 prongs on the side that are pretty long. That's bound to cause some damage against this thing. You aim, you time your shot, you loose.
There we go. -1's already on as well.
Right, so that's fine. As you fire, just as you pull the trigger, you go, oh no, and you realize that you still have left the loop on the end of the handle where you're supposed to hang it up. Luckily enough, though, it doesn't snag on anything, and it shoots through the air, sailing quite nicely, and it hits one of the mandibles right in its face, so much so that it actually pins the mandible right to its face.
Hell yeah.
Beautiful shot.
So I'm gonna keep taking aim over the edge of my cauldron, and that's.
Okay. As you are there, as you have made your hasty retreat and well-timed shot, it occurs to you that this acid in the soup might give it a nice bite. Yeah, it might that could be good. Experimentation may be needed. Right, but that is you. Right, okay. So, Nilwug.
Oh, okay. I will run up to this ankeg, brandishing my bone staff, and attempt to bop it.
Okay.
I'll be Shillelagh, that one on him. Yeah. With a mighty swing, I hit it.
You swing and you connect beautifully. Your bone staff hasn't let you down, and you sort of like the hip part of it, the knobbly bit at the end. Absolutely beautiful. As it hits, you're expecting some sort of resistance, but the awesome magic, the awesome goblin magic that you have, that you extract from the land, because it is undeserving of you. Yes, because it is undeserving, and you should have it. Shatters one of the protective plates, and this thing writhes in agony.
Perfect. I will then, seeing Grub quite wounded from the acid attack, will take my hand into my trousers and just lob a glob of fungus at him. And hit him with a pollen pick-me-up.
Okay. So, what spell is that? Is that
That is healing word.
healing word? Right. Okay. So you just actually, do you want to describe how you do this? I know how I would do it, but go on. If you want to do it, you can. How does this work?
So I just reach into my ever trusty pants.
It's always the pants.
I know it is because
I mean,
I'm just wearing a
big
pair of
pants.
pants.
It's like he's wearing like MC Hammer pants. You remember MC Hammer? Them sort of like big and bulbous.
I like reach in, like scrape some fungus off my leg. It's black and gooey, and I just launch it and hit him directly on his face, and it just starts to seep into his skin, and his wounds begin to close.
As this splattering of whatever it is that Nilbug has just scraped off some nether regions of his body hits you, you can't help but shudder at the impact, the slap wet impact on your face, on your cheek. And then as your wounds begin to close, you might realize that you might have a problem, and you kind of like it. Nilwug, is that everything, or do you have more?
That is the end of my turn, but I have a thing starting at his turn.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And right now, it is not his turn, because another one comes out of the ground. It is that's turn. This one has come out of the ground closer to Blasbo. He has been making a lot of movement, and these things have got tremor sense. So he has, in his hastiness, my word, that's terrible English. I learned England when I was a children. So that was in his haste to provide some distance. He has just pointed where he is. So as it comes up, it is going to make a bite attack on Blasbo here. So here it comes, Blasbo Pigwiggle. Oh, 15 misses. Not by much, I bet. Nope, not by much at all. So, as this thing just erupts from the ground behind you, it lashes out and catches some of your clothes, but it does not get hold of you. Now, you are small enough for this thing to pretty much grab you, so you are very, very relieved that this thing has not gotten a hold. So, oh yes, so that is that one's turn. Now, it has not regained the use of its acid spray, so it won't be using that. But Nilwug.
Yeah, the thick spores around me, it seems to choke on them. So I can make it deal 1d4 2 times because I got Hail as the spores up.
Yeah.
So it does a Constitution saving throw. So I just drop that on that, I'm assuming. It succeeded, so it's okay.
Right. As you are thinking about this and about how to use these spores, Cody in your head goes, oh, my turn. Oh. And you can practically hear her blow in your head, and the spores just sort of drift over to it. Unfortunately, it doesn't do anything, but it was from the inside of your head. That was really cool. It gets its turn. It is going to turn to... who has done the most damage to it recently? Well, actually, these things aren't that intelligent, so it is going to turn to the latest thing that hit it, which would be Nilwug. And it is going to make a bite attack. So, Nilwug, it rears up, and it snaps down and hits you. And the mandibles grab into you, biting into your flesh on either side. You are grappled by this creature immediately. And because it's right next to where the tubules are, where that sprayed its acid spray, it is constantly leaking this acid as it's trying to regenerate enough to squirt it out, and you take acid damage with this as well. Right, so the mandibles do 11 points of damage as it bites into your skin, pins you down, and the acid burns. So that is 16 points of damage. Mm-hmm. However, your spores, Cody goes, ooh, oh, I don't like that. She obviously felt that. Actually, is it a she? I don't think you've actually said.
I guess it's just a fungus.
It's just a fungus, okay. So, how would you like us to address it? It, they, that,
I guess.
it, okay. Yes, it doesn't, obviously felt some of that. That is its turn. Now, that is the Ankeg's turn. Now, it does have you in its mouth. It certainly is blocking up its bite attack, you are fairly sure, while it is holding on to you. So, at the top of the round, we have Tago.
I am going to try and punch it so it lets go.
You might be able to... well, you can give it a go. If you want to try and specifically get Nilborg out, you can sort of grab his legs and pull. Or are you just going to attack the creature in the hopes that it will let go?
I'm going to attack it and try and make it let go.
Okay, righty. Let's have some attack rolls. Right, you do your martial arts stuff and whack! Yeah, that stings again. Well.
I'm going to use my last key point and try again.
Okay. You step back, take a breath in, and as this thing is writhing with Nilborg in its mouth, you reach out, whack! You hit almost the exact same place. You need to aim someplace else. Thinking on that, you move over, you take a single step to the right and lash out once more. You find a soft spot. Let's do some damage. Ooh, 7 points. You break this thing's skin as your hand disappears into it, and as you extract it, it's then covered with this gloopy, horrible, syrupy, insectoid kind of blood. Oh, it's
delicious
warm.
to us.
It's warm. It's horrible.
Good super.
Potentially.
I check to see if it is, and lick the goo.
You have a look at it. It's kind of sweet. Yeah, and then, there's that aftertaste. No, that's really horrible. Well, when it's cooked up and warm, hot, it might be something. Grub might be able to turn it into something amazing.
I look at Grub and just shake my head as in, no.
Right. The Ankeg does not let go of Nilborg, unfortunately. Alrighty, so I believe that is all you. You do have some movement, yeah.
Yep, I will move. I'll move a bit back.
Right.
10.
10 foot? Right.
Yeah.
As you move away, it turns to you as if it's going to lash out, and then it remembers that it has something in its mouth, and it can't. So you move back your 10 feet. Unimpeded. Fugugg!
I'm going to follow suit and try and get this one to drop Nilwug with my longbow.
Okay.
Guess not.
No, and well, you do definitely hit it, but the damage caused does not drop Nilwug.
Okay.
You even aimed close to its mandible, but nope. You pierce the mandible. Nilwug, that was really close. That nearly went through the mandible and into you. You're not exactly sure if that was aimed at the Ankeg or you. Maybe something to think about. Right, Fugugg, anything else?
Nope, that's me.
Nope, that's you. Okay. Blasbo, you are up. There is now one. This one is not as large as the one that's over there. You can tell this now, anyway, now that you're up and close to it.
I shall use a bonus action to disengage, as is my wont as a goblin. And I will charge in the other direction, making my way towards the one, gesturing at the one that's currently got Nilwug in its mandibles to say, I command you to release, my brethren! And it's still got the curse in it, so I will just try and goblin blast again.
Okay. You hit. It would appear that your odd particular blasts are very good at piercing its shell. It is, however, still alive, still kicking.
I shall use the fury of the small to do a little extra 2 damage.
An extra 2 damage. Is it enough? Not quite, unfortunately. It is really close, but not quite.
But yes, I'll have moved 30 closer to my comrades, closely followed by the smaller of these worm boys.
All right. Okay. Right. So you are equidistant in between these two Ankeg at the present, 30 foot away from each. Okay. So that is Blasbo. Bugwug.
Seeing that another one of these foul beasts has dared to come anywhere near our glorious leader, I will say, Brethren, our leader, we must defend his magnificence! And I will bonus action disengage away from the one that currently has Nilwug, going towards the other one. So I'm assuming
It is currently from where you are. It is 60 feet away.
60 feet away?
Yes.
I just need to check something real quick. Okay. Hey, you know what? It's all about theatrics currently, so I'm going to get up to Blasbo, heroically place my body between him and this other foul beast, and then launch my trident at it. The trident has an effective range of 20 feet, so it's a disadvantage.
It will be at disadvantage, yes.
And this is Ankeg 3. So.
Oh. That's still really good though, 19 and a 20. But
Amazing! I didn't expect that!
You're going to be going champion when you hit level 3?
No. Now, I don't know why Trident is a strength thing.
Yes.
So it should. Ah, wait, that's why. Okay. I understand now. Yeah, so it's slightly less damage, but that's fine. As long as the Trident holds true. Boom. Now it's got a Trident sticking out of its belly. We can do bug.
It was a good shot. It looked spectacular. Spectacularly brave. Placing yourself the way that you have.
I just am spectacularly brave, so it makes sense. And that's me. I'm done.
Okay. Right. Grub, you are next.
Grub is still concerned for Nilwug, like trapped in this thing's jaws.
Okay.
So he's gonna take a shot at the Ankeg too.
Okay. So, ladle launcher, you quickly reach into your pouch. This time it's actually a flat wooden spoon.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Okay. That's a hit.
That
Lovely job.
is a hit.
And then I'm also gonna Fury of the Small this one, so I'll just add 1. Because of the
It's
minus thing. It's because I should be taking.
oh yes, that's fair enough. Yeah, got you.
Hey.
It had 3 hit points left.
We need to be more small and furious.
Yes, you do. So as you pull out your piece of cutlery, you plonk it in, not looking what it is, and you fire, and it shoots out. And this one being kind of flat, it doesn't have anything sticking out of the end to sort of guide it, and it just sort of rolls over itself, and it starts to spin, and it just clonks this Ankeg right in the center of the head, right in between its eyes, and it sort of, with Nilwug in its jaws, it sort of looks kind of dazed, and then almost drunk, just falls back over slowly and just bang on the ground. Nilwug, you are free.
Beautiful.
And it also makes that odd sort of like sound when wood hits something really really dense. That sort of stick sound. I can't do it because I'm not that good at sound effects, but you know what I mean. Like plunk.
Cool. I am gonna use my bonus action to hide, so I'll just dive into the soup and hope that Ankeg 3 doesn't take notice of me.
Okay.
Real quick stealth for that. Oh, not great. But yeah, that's me.
Right. Okay. Believe it or not, that beats its passive perception.
Hell yeah.
Right. So that's you. Nilwug, you are free.
Yes, I am.
You're not sure whether this Ankeg is unconscious or dead, but it was a fabulous sound when that wooden spoon hit it.
If it not moving, then it not problem.
It not moving.
I will. How far is this other Ankeg from me?
60 feet.
60
Presently,
feet.
yes.
That's a long distance. I will move 30 feet towards it. I will then use my sticky string slap.
Okay.
Miss.
Right. As you lash out your whatever it is that you lash out of you, as it hits the shell, and you give a yank, it just slides off. Whatever is making your fibrous strand sticky is just not sticking to that thing.
I'll just kind of shake it about with frustration, and then I'll bonus action try and hide.
Yes, by all means you can.
Because why not? Stop it.
That, unfortunately, is not enough to hide from its passive perception. Its passive perception is 11, just in case you hadn't realised. Right.
Down in place.
It's okay, you just sit there dejected. God damn it. Right. Did you move closer to this, by the way? Did you move closer, or did you not?
Yeah, I'm about 30 feet away from it now.
Righty, so are you standing next to Bug and Blasbo?
If they were the closest direction to it, then yep.
Yes, they were. Right,
Yep.
okay. Okay, now is its turn. It is going to turn and it is going to move forwards. Actually, yes, it's going to move forward about 10 feet. It's going to rear up. It flexes some muscles, something that you have seen not that long ago, and the spray of acid hurtles out into your direction. Now it is a line. It's 5 foot wide. Fugugg is standing in front of Blasbo, and Nilwug, you just moved up right next to them, so it's going to get all three of you, I'm afraid. So, righty, so Nilwug, it's going to get Bugwug, and it is going to get, Blasbo. Okay, so this is a dexterity saving throw, and here it comes. Oh, natural 20 by Bugwug, what's going on? You're saving it all. Alrighty, so 2 of you have made the save. Here is the acid. Don't think I'll roll as well as I did last time. No, I didn't. It's only 6. Okay. Yeah, that acid burns just as much as it did before. You thought it might be one of these things where it's, you know, you're sort of like become accustomed to that sort of thing. There ain't no customization to that sort of burning. It's terrible. It is then going to close the distance, and that is its turn over. Back up top to Tago.
How close did it get to us?
Oh, it's right next to you now. It moved 10 foot, and then it, yes, that's right.
I can use my reaction to
Yes, you can.
hit it with some baby spores.
Some baby spores. As it's getting closer, Cody goes, "Oh, come closer, 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 closer." And at the moment that it gets in, it goes, "Yes!" and blows out this this stuff, and it blows it right up into its face, and it just sort of, as much as a bug can sort of scrunch its face, it does it. And it then kind of sneezes. You don't know what it did, but it doesn't look happy about it at all. Tago, it is your turn.
How close is it to me?
To you, it's about 20 feet. Because you backed off 10 last time.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk up to it and I'm gonna jump and give it a punch.
Okay. Excellent. You run up to it, and as its legs, its hooky legs are on the inside, on the underside of it, as it's rearing back after getting a nostril full of their spores, you just sort of like jab it in the armpit, and you can almost see it go, ah. Right. You do have a bonus action if you want to make another attack.
And I will do.
Awesome. Oh, nice. And you do hit the as it scrunches over that side, its other side is now open for another armpit jab. So just like that, and it doesn't know what to do, and it just goes, it just scrunches itself down, trying to make it look small. Alright, it is definitely upset with the way things are going at the present. You do have movement, if you want to do any movement.
I'm gonna move back 5 feet.
Are you going to move back 5 feet? Right, okay. As you move back, as it's scrunched up like this, as you back up, it lashes out and gets an attack of opportunity on you. It is going to go for a bite. Let's see if it can get you with it. Which it does, I'm afraid. So, Just like Nilwog before, the mandibles grab you, and as it pierces your skin, you are kind of lift off the ground, and you are considered grappled. You also take... oh, lovely. You take 9 points of piercing, slashing damage off these mandibles, these little hooks that drag across your skin. And the acid that is still leaking out of its freshly sprayed tubules. That hurt. That hurt. Alright, so that is you. Fugugg. Tago now has been lifted by this thing in its mouth. What are you going to do?
I'm going to cast as a bonus action Fast Goblin, or Zephyr Strike, on myself.
Mm-hmm.
And go for a longbow attack first of all, which I will use the advantage of Zephyr Strike. It does give advantage, doesn't it? Remind. Just remembering. Give yourself advantage on one weapon attack and deals an extra 1d8 force damage.
Yeah.
It has to be within. Oh no, I just have to be able to hit it. Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Yep.
Shoot it with my longbow with advantage.
Eat 'em.
Oh fuck yeah!
Oh, wow. 2 20s? Holy shit!
Who are you? What are you doing with Jake in this
Wow. I tell you what, right? Just for fun, right? On an advantaged attack like that, if you do roll 2 20s, you can max down. How's that? This is just a crappy, it's a goblin, it's a fun thing. Max damage. What's the maximum damage you can do on a critical hit?
So it would be 35. It would be
35. That kills it by 12. Wow, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, why not?
I'm just gonna roll the damage so it gets rid of the effect.
Yeah.
It expires on a roll.
Do you know what would have been great if you'd actually rolled max damage? That would have been amazing. Right. By the way, don't think we're doing that in any of the other games that I'm running. Like ever. Right. Oh. Hey, well, just remember, they can do that to you. That works both ways.
I'll take
yeah.
it.
Right. So, as you empower your bow and you hold it back, you can feel the power building up. And you time your shot and you loose, and as it goes streaking through the air, it almost gives like the sound barrier break as fighter jets go through. You know, that trail that it gives. It hurtling through the air, and it goes right past Tago's face next to this mandible, and it goes in its mouth. And as it exits the other side, the entire back quarter of this Ankheg's head and upper body just explodes out over, spraying the forest, and luckily no one is behind it, with innards and goo and brain and insectoid like blood and ichor. It was spectacular. And there is no more vibrations, there is no more movements, and it would appear that that excitement is over.
Excellent work, Pigwiggles. We are victorious twice in one day. But for now, I need to go back to sleep. I'll just stagger my way. There's my hole. Face plant right into it.
Okay. Anybody else doing anything?
Grub is gonna have a little waddle over to one of these dead Ankheg's, and he's gonna take a nibble on some of that meat. Just Just wants to know himself.
He just wants to know himself. You think that this might be all right if you could fry it in some way rather than put it in soup? Maybe cover it with some sort of batter, perhaps.
Can I like snap off one of its? You said it had like these sort of hooked claw kind of things. It used to.
It's
like,
basically its
raw.
legs. Yeah.
Yeah. Can I like snap off the hooked end, like the sharp end, and see how good it is at cutting?
Yes, by all means, give it a go. Make a do a survival one. An 8. As you are sort of like trying to get a hold of it, you see that as you snap it off, it's a lot of it is all kind of sharp. But as you snap it off, you realize that there's nowhere to hold it because you've snapped it off too close. But you can't see how else you'd be able to get it off without taking the entire leg, which is like 1.5 feet long.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'll leave the leg as it is then, and
Would I be able to see him trying to do something with the legs?
Yes, absolutely. I'm not exactly sure what his motivation is, but when has that ever stopped any goblin ever from doing whatever it wants to do?
I would walk over to our newly bluely friend and say, what is it you're trying to accomplish? Perhaps I could be of some assistance.
the ends of its legs, they are quite sharp and perhaps useful to us in our adventure.
You make an excellent point. Allow me to try. Can I attempt a survival check?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. You kind of see where Grub went wrong. The various tendons and things on the inside of this legs, on the inside of the outer shell of its legs, anyway. The tendons are quite tough, quite thick. So as you, instead of snapping it off all the way, you sort of break one side, break the other, and then pull the tendon out with it, and then you can cut the tendon to length that you want. That would do the job. After a while, the tendon would harden, or you could tie it to something.
Is this acceptable to you, brethren?
That looks perfect, thank you.
Excellent, excellent.
Could we now we have a better idea how to do it, just collect a couple?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, we'll say 4 legs. They've got loads of legs, don't they? So
Oh yes, and there is 3 of them,
4
so
legs.
yeah.
Okay, we've got 4 anchor legs.
As we're collecting the legs together, I would just sort of sidle on over a bit closer and say, good friend, the others, they may have shunned you for your new pigmentation of skin, but to me, you are still the same goblin, and have proven here yet again that you are an invaluable member of the Pigwiggle clan.
You flatter me, Bugwog.
Oh,
But,
it is
alas,
nothing but the truth.
I do not blame them, for I am hideous.
It is true, you are disgusting now. But I, for one, say that perhaps embracing something new, such as your coloring, is not the worst thing that could happen to us. And in fact, perhaps we should be open to more alterations of established rulings in our clan. Allowing blue goblins to be part of it is not a bad start. But who says rules have to be rules forever? Goblins have to be green. The leader has to be a booyah. Things could change. And I, for one, welcome you as part of that change with open arms, brother. And I hand him a bunch of legs.
The... You make an excellent point, Bugwug. I am glad to call you brother. Thank you for not shunning me like the others.
And you may be hideous, but the bonds of our blood, intermingled and intertwined as it is, can never be broken.
Pig wiggle.
Pig wiggle.
Hmm.
I scurry away.
You'll waddle off over to my soup.
Okay.
While that's going on, I'm just gonna go over to Fugugg and say thank you for saving me.
I'll sort of just look at you and just kind of nod and then scuttle away to somebody else.
I scuttle off to sleep.
Brutal. Okay. Nilwug. It is still your watch, at least for a little while longer. Are you doing anything in particular during this time, or are you just sort of licking your wounds, so to speak?
Yeah, I'll just tend to the wounds with natural remedies instead of magical means while I wait for my watch to be over.
You're sure you've got something that would help out somewhere in your pants that you could scrape off?
Nothing mechanically. Oh, I got this red potion. No, I don't want to drink the red potion.
Nothing mechanically, but flavor-wise.
Yeah, I'll
by
just
all
use like
means help
leaves
yourself.
and various fungus.
Lovely, lovely. There's a sort of a speckled, a tiny little speckled beginnings of a mushroom that's growing somewhere in there that you might be able to use. Feels good when you do it.
Just the tip of a mushroom hiding down those pants.
You know it.
Poking out the top.
I reiterate again, they're really not normally like this. As you are getting everything ready, you get a good look at these pancakes, because it's definitely now the main feature. And you do notice that where they have burrowed through and out, there is a small opening tunnel that you could potentially follow. It is partially collapsed. It's not as big as the Yank egg, but you are all small and these are goblins and you're used to that sort of thing. It is possible that you could head underground. Just a thought, it just pops into your head. Now, as your watch comes to an end, who was taking the last?
That was me.
That was Grub. Righty. So, Grub, you get up. Oddly enough, with all of the commotion, it is actually really, really quiet around here. The animals have gone, so make your perception check.
Just for the record, I'm not really watching anything.
That's okay.
I am going to dig a small pit so I can then gather a few twigs, and I'll use my essentially prestidigitation to light a fire and sit my cauldron on top of it to get the soup warming up a bit.
Okay.
And as it does so, I'm going to attempt to start making like a dagger out of one of these legs, if I can, like with a sharp bit on the end, and maybe find a stick and a bit of twine or something, and just try and wrap it around and make a makeshift handle.
You most definitely can do that.
I've got my tinker's tools as well, if that helps me at all.
Yes, that would help. That would help great. Are you trying to? What's a good way to describe it? Put an artificer's twist on this. Are you going to create something artificer-wise, or are you just wanting to create like a tool or a weapon? Or...
Just like a tool or a weapon. Just like I know the end sharp, so it would probably benefit from having a handle to wield it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Make a tinkerer's tools check. Let's go for Let's go for an intelligence-based tinkerer's tools check. So you are proficient with it to see if you can fathom out the best way to construct this item.
Right, okay. I'm just gonna make. No, I'll just roll my investigation for now. That's intelligence with proficiency.
Yeah.
And I'll make one. Am I gonna do it? I'm sure I double clicked it. I'll try again. There we go.
Okay. Yes. You can groove the inside of this, or the very top edge of the stick that you've got. You can slot it in there. You can use the tendon itself to wrap around to give it a good grip. You can also reinforce that with any sort of rope or cloth that you have. It's all very, very simple.
Nice.
So you have a makeshift weapon. On a roll of 20. Actually, I tell you what. Let's look to see what that. It was the mandibles that was doing. And so it is hooked specifically. It specifically states that its legs end in sharp hooks adapted for burrowing and grasping its prey. So I will let you do D4, like a dagger.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. You are not proficient in it. You would need to practice and search at the moment. You could, when doing this on the spot, so I tell you what, you could forego your actions and try, your attacks, and as an action, try to grapple someone with it. So any grapple attacks, I would let you have advantage with.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I'd just be doing that really for the remainder of my watch. I'd be crafting, and then once the soup gets to like a nice steamy level, we're not talking bubbling, boiling.
Mm-hmm.
When it's steamy, nice and warm, I'm just going to jump in.
Right,
and then I'm going to sit there, and then I probably will just be watching. I just like laid the cauldron, just sort of looking out in the forest. Like that's until the sun rises.
Right. Okay. Absolutely no problem.
To be honest, I'd probably fall asleep. So if anything happens,
no, nothing happens. The Yankees have literally scared everything away. So, let's go for it is wake up time, and you each begin to stir. None of you are woken up. The sun is kind of shining. That's mainly what has woken you up. let's see. Who would go? Let's make it random. So there is 6 of yous, and I will go along the list that I have here. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bugwug, you were the first to wake up. And you can see Grub in his pot, sort of arms out on either side of the pot, as best as he can anyway, head back like this, up to the side, totally asleep. Just snoring away.
Falling asleep on watch is a potentially bad look. So I will walk over and spit into his open, snoring mouth to wake him up.
Spit straight into the soup. What happened?
Do not worry, brethren. You simply took a brief nap that no one needs to know of.
I have failed us.
No,
The soup.
no.
It is so comforting.
It's just that good of soup.
It is good soup.
It's good soup.
In fact,
Nothing to be ashamed of.
I'll hop out of the soup, and I'll take off whatever clothes I was wearing and wring them out into it. So I'm just butt naked, and I'm just gonna shout, "Dinner is ready, brothers!" Or breakfast, even. And then I'll put my clothes back on.
Well, you are all roused at the interesting wake-up call. You get up. You partake in your breakfast. Is there anything that you wish to discuss right now?
Is the soup blue?
No, the soup is not blue.
Oh, thank God!
Or shall we leave it to the dice gods to decide?
Yes.
Yes? Alright then. I tell you what then, since you asked the question, Blasbo, I will let you roll. Feel free to roll a d20 for me. On a 1, it is blue. Okay. It is not blue.
Oh, thank God! So we'll eat as normal.
It tastes delicious. And since
Grub. Despite your recent deformities, your skill has not diminished. It is as fine as the first day I ever tasted it.
Take a deep bow, and I say, "You honor me, Fugugg."
No, noble Grub. You honor us all.
I hope that my hideous appearance does not put you off your breakfast. Please indulge
Fear.
as much as you wish.
Fear not, Grub. We shall invest in hats in time.
wow, I totally forgot to have a break earlier on to chop this up a little bit. Would you like one now? And we can make this one a 3-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So we will have a break, and we'll come back in part 3. Can you believe it? A 3rd part. You can tell that it's a bank holiday tomorrow, and we don't need to get up for work. Okay. So we will hopefully see you back for part 3. See you soon.